Look, 400 peak amps sounds like plenty, right? Up until your car battery flatlines on the coldest morning of the entire year and your engine suddenly demands way more than the box promised you. And that's exactly why the NOCO Boost Plus GB40 brings 1,000 peak amps to the table. In this explainer, we're breaking down exactly why it wins on raw power, but also why that older Anker 400 can actually still make sense for one very specific type of buyer, and we're going to tell you exactly who that is.
All right, picture this. It's 6:40 in the morning, you've got to get to work, the windshield is totally frosted over, and you turn the key to hear that one sad click.
Oh man, the sound that turns a completely normal Tuesday into a character-building experience.
Exactly. So you dig your jump starter out of the glove box, you check it, it's got 3 out of 4 battery lights, you hook up the clamps, turn the key again, nothing. Not even a sluggish crank.
And naturally, most people immediately blame the jump starter. And honestly, sometimes they absolutely should. But there are 3 other hidden factors that can completely kill a jump attempt: a car battery that's dropped below the starter's automatic detection threshold, a loose clamp connection, or an engine that simply demands more physical current than that little power pack can realistically supply.
You know, that exact scenario happened to a buddy of mine with an older compact SUV. He had the Anker 400. It's a great little power bank, but his car battery was weak, it was sitting at about 28 degrees outside, and that 2.4-liter engine just was not interested in turning over. Meanwhile, the NOCO GB40 is bringing serious heat. This thing is rated at 1,000 peak amps, easily handling gasoline engines up to 6.0 liters and diesel engines up to 3.0 liters. We're not talking about a marginal difference here. That is literally 2.5 times Anker's advertised peak number. Hold on though, don't spend that $100 just yet. Because peak amps are definitely not the whole story. And a bit later, we're getting into the one massive buying mistake that makes even a GB40 totally useless when you actually need it. Let's clear up exactly what we're comparing today. On one side, you have the older Anker compact car jump starter, often listed as model A1501. Spec-wise, it's rocking a 10,000 mAh internal battery, pushing 200 amps of starting current with a 400 amp peak. Right, and remember, it was originally designed for 12-volt gasoline engines up to 3.0 liters and diesel engines up to 2.5 liters. Anker claimed you could get around 15 jump starts per charge, but come on, that was strictly under ideal conditions. Yes, key phrase there. Ideal conditions, meaning warm weather, a battery that isn't completely ruined, pristine terminals, and a modest-sized engine. Now compare that to the NOCO Boost Plus GB40. This is a current, active product. The typical new retail price is $99.95 in the US. It claims up to 20 jump starts per charge, boasts that 1,000 amp peak rating, and works with basically any 12-volt lead-acid battery out there. Standard flooded, AGM, gel, EFB, and maintenance-free types.
Now, we have to mention, the Anker 400 is discontinued. That changes this conversation immediately. You might spot one used, old stock, or open box for roughly $25 to $60, but there is zero current official new product support to compare against the NOCO.
And let's be real, buying a 10-year-old lithium jump pack is not like finding an unopened set of floor mats. Its internal battery has been chemically aging whether it was used or just sitting in a box.
Exactly. A cheap used jump starter can quickly become the most expensive $35 you ever saved if it fails you at 11 p.m. in a dark grocery store parking lot.
So let's get into round 1, actual jump starting ability.
Dean, the Anker 400 is strictly a light-duty tool. If you drive a Honda Civic with a 1.5-liter turbo, maybe a Toyota Corolla with a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder, a Mazda 3, a small crossover, or even a compact motorcycle setup with a 12-volt battery, then yeah, its rating makes perfect sense.
Right, within its specific limits, sure. Its 200 amp starting current and 400 amp peak are enough for a small, otherwise healthy engine that just has a discharged battery. But I would absolutely not buy it for a 3.5-liter V6, a full-size truck, a large SUV, or honestly any diesel, just because the old listing says up to 2.5-liter diesel.
Yeah, diesel ratings always seem to make people feel a little tougher than their budget actually allows.
Look, diesel compression is not impressed by your budget. So true. The GB40 is just way more flexible. Its 1,000 amp rating and 6.0-liter gas rating cover a huge chunk of normal American vehicles. We're talking V6 sedans, mid-size SUVs, crossovers, older V8 muscle cars, half-ton pickups with smaller gas engines, motorcycles, ATVs, lawn equipment, and even boats with 12-volt lead-acid starting batteries. But notice what Dean just said, cover a huge chunk, not everything. If you own a 6.2-liter V8 truck, a heavy-duty diesel, or a vehicle with dual batteries, do not treat the GB40 like some miracle box. You need to move up to a more capable pack.
Okay, hold on. We need to highlight that. Because people see 1,000 amps on the box and immediately assume it'll jumpstart anything with wheels.
It won't. Let's be clear. Peak amps are marketing numbers. They are not a standardized promise that every single pack delivers identical cranking performance. Real-world factors like engine size, battery condition, outside temperature, cable resistance, and the actual clamp contact matter just as much, if not more.
So, here's the practical recommendation. If your vehicle has a gas engine below 3.0 liters and you already own a healthy Anker 400, keep it charged and keep using it. Don't just toss a perfectly working tool.
But if you're shopping today, the NOCO wins this round by a mile. It gives you the headroom to change vehicles later, help out a stranded friend, or deal with a battery that's far more than just slightly weak.
And there's your first little surprise for this explainer. Buying too small is actually worse than buying too big when it comes to jump starters. You might only need it once or twice a year, but when you do need it, almost enough power is exactly the same as having no power at all.
Which brings us to round 2, safety and ease of use. And this is where both of these lithium products absolutely destroy old-school jumper cables, especially for beginners.
The Anker 400 features reverse polarity, surge, and short-circuit protection built right into its smart clamp module. Plus, it's got a built-in LED flashlight and dual USB charging ports, one 5-volt 1-amp port and one 5-volt 2.1-amp port.
Honestly, that was a pretty strong package for its era. It was essentially a 10,000 milliamp-hour power bank that just happened to be able to revive a small car, which is genuinely still useful.
Having 2 USB ports means you could charge your phone and a second device at the exact same time. If you break down on the side of the highway and your phone is sitting at 4%, that feature really matters.
On the other hand, the GB40 uses NOCO's ultra-safe design. That means spark-proof connections and reverse polarity protection. It also boasts a 100-lumen LED flashlight with 7 different modes, including SOS and an emergency strobe.
I'll be honest, 7 flashlight modes is perhaps 6 more than I can realistically remember how to use in a total panic.
Hey, that's exactly why you practice with your gear before the panic hits, Dean.
Fair point. Now, the GB40 also gives you a 5-volt 2.1-amp USB output for charging your devices. Let's be clear, that is not fast charging by 2026 standards. You are absolutely not getting 30-watt USB-C power delivery out of this thing.
Correct. This is fundamentally an older internal design. The GB40's main job is starting a car, not rapidly charging a laptop. And a quick heads up, depending on which GB40 retail package you find, pay close attention to the charging connection and the included cable. Legacy documentation lists a micro USB input at 5 volts and 2.1 amps, while newer retail bundles might actually include a USB-C cable. Always verify the actual listing before you hit buy.
That's a great real-world warning. Never just assume every box photo tells you exactly what's inside.
Now, regarding durability, the GB40's enclosure is IP65 rated when its ports are closed. That means it is protected against dust and low-pressure water jets. It does not mean you can drop it in a deep puddle with the ports flapped open and casually call it off-road tested.
Thank you. Water resistant is not submarine rated, people.
Right. The NOCO is also rated to operate from -30 to +50 degrees Celsius, so that's -22 to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. But there's a major catch here. All lithium batteries lose performance in severe cold. A rating on a box is not a magical promise that a pack left out in a frozen truck bed will perform exactly like one kept inside a warm house.
And here's where things get super interesting. The NOCO GB40's absolute biggest advantage might not actually be its 1,000 amps. It's the fact that you can use it far more confidently on a car battery that appears totally, completely dead. Right, the GB40 is designed to automatically detect 12-volt lead-acid batteries down to 2 volts. But if the vehicle's battery has dropped below 2 volts, the unit may not automatically recognize that it's even connected to a car, which sounds bad, but NOCO specifically includes a manual override mode. It lets you force the jumpstart function for a deeply, deeply discharged battery.
And listen closely, that is not a beginner button. Activating manual override completely disables the automatic safety detection behavior. You must confirm the battery is actually a 12-volt lead-acid battery, correctly identify the positive and negative posts, and make absolutely sure those clamps are connected properly before you activate it.
Let me put that in plain English. If you're not 100% certain, do not hit manual override just because some random YouTube comment told you to send it.
Exactly. The normal, everyday way is super simple. Connect the red clamp to positive. Connect the black clamp to a proper chassis ground according to your specific vehicle's manual. Turn the unit on, wait for the ready indication light, and start the car.
Then, make sure you disconnect it promptly after the engine starts. NOCO specifically warns users not to attempt more than 5 consecutive jump starts within a 15-minute window. You need to let it rest for 15 minutes after that to prevent overheating.
And that really matters. These compact lithium packs are incredibly powerful for their size, but they are not unlimited-duty professional shop equipment. You know, the old Anker is actually easier in one specific way. It was incredibly simple. Plug in the smart clamps, connect red to positive and black to negative, then start. But obviously, it just does not offer that same 1000 amp headroom, or NOCO's well-documented low-voltage override system. All right, let's move to round 3, size, storage, and daily usefulness.
So physically, the GB40 measures about 6.7 inches long, 3.2 inches wide, and 1.7 inches thick. It weighs roughly 2.4 pounds.
Which is still compact enough for a glove box. In some vehicles, sure. But I'd probably stash it in the trunk side compartment, a center console bin, or a dedicated emergency kit. In the standard retail package, it comes with the clamps, a charging cable, and a basic storage bag. Now, the Anker 400 is definitely slimmer and lighter. It measures around 6.1 by 3.3 by 1.2 inches. It was genuinely, truly glove box friendly.
And that's the one point where the Anker actually still feels modern. It's a very small 10,000 milliamp hour emergency battery that also just happens to be able to start a modest engine.
But the GB40 easily takes the win for ruggedness. It has rubberized overmolding that really helps protect it from everyday scratches and knocks in the trunk. Plus, that IP65 rating gives it another big advantage over buying an old, used Anker with a completely unknown storage history.
Okay, quick myth bust for everyone. Do not just leave either one of these in your vehicle forever and blindly assume you're prepared. Sustained summer heat slowly damages lithium batteries over time. If your car sits baking in 105-degree weather, your jump pack is in there baking right along with your sunglasses.
So keep it indoors where you can, but more importantly, you must inspect and recharge it every 3 to 6 months. NOCO says the GB40 can technically retain its charge for up to a year, but guys, emergency equipment should not be managed on a once-a-year memory test.
Seriously, put a recurring reminder in your phone for daylight saving time. Check the charge lights, inspect the physical clamps, look for cracked wires, make sure the storage bag hasn't mysteriously become a crumpled receipt museum.
And please don't ever use a visibly swollen pack. Don't use damaged clamps, and definitely don't try to charge a lithium jump starter if it is visibly damaged or feels excessively hot.
All right, let's close some loops here and go over the top mistakes we really wish more buyers knew about before they hit checkout.
Mistake number 1. Buying a jump starter to solve a failing car battery. A jump pack gets you moving, that's it. It does not magically repair a battery with a bad cell, corroded terminals, a loose ground cable, or a fundamentally broken charging system. If you find yourself needing a jump more than once in a short span, go get the battery and alternator properly tested. Mistake number 2, charging the pack only after it saves you. You need to charge it the day you buy it. Check it every 3 to 6 months. A jump starter sitting at 0% has exactly one feature: it stores disappointment. Mistake number 3, blindly trusting engine size claims without actually considering the vehicle type. Look, a 3.0-liter 4-cylinder gasoline engine, a turbocharged 3.0-liter 6-cylinder, and a 3.0-liter diesel engine absolutely do not all create the same starting demand. Mistake number 4, lazily attaching the clamps to dirty, crusty terminals and then blaming the jump pack when it fails. Clean the battery terminals if they're heavily corroded. You have to get the clamp teeth biting onto actual bare metal, not just clamped onto some fuzzy blue science experiment.
And mistake number 5, using manual override casually. On the GB40, use it only when you explicitly understand that the car's battery is below the automatic detection threshold, and you have absolutely verified your polarity. And that brings us back to the answer to our very first open loop. The reason that compact Anker can totally fail even with plenty of charge remaining isn't always because it's defective. The car battery might just be too dead, the weather might be too cold, the clamps might have a poor physical contact, or the engine might simply need a much bigger surge than a 400 amp peak pack can realistically deliver. Now, before we give our final verdicts, let's talk price and value. On paper, this one looks really obvious. An old Anker 400 can easily cost a third of a brand new GB40. But the real price comparison is not $35 versus $99.95. What you're actually comparing is a used, discontinued lithium product with absolutely no meaningful original warranty left against a current product with a 1-year limited warranty directly from NOCO. And that's the part all you budget shoppers really need to hear. Cheap is good, but cheap and unreliable is just paying cash for your own future and convenience. The GB40 is frequently priced around $99.95 new. Occasionally, holiday sales will change that, but that is the regular current price point. For that money, you're getting the 1000 amp rating, 6.0-liter gas and 3.0-liter diesel compatibility, IP65 protection, the 100 lumen light, the manual override capability, and up to 20 claimed starts. Now, if your car is just a small 4-cylinder and you happen to find a sealed, verifiably recent Anker 400 for $25, sure, it can be a perfectly fair backup. But I absolutely would not pay $60 for one.
when a brand new, current higher capacity starter really isn't that far away in price. I completely agree. At $25, it's a calculated gamble for a compact car owner. At $60, you're just buying nostalgia with jumper clamps attached. And hey, if you're buying this for a teenager, a college student, a spouse who absolutely hates car stuff, or just someone who drives alone at night a lot, spend the extra money on the NOCO. Because ease of use and a healthy power margin matter way more than squeezing every last dollar out of a literal emergency item. Final verdict time. The NOCO Boost Plus GB40 is the clear winner for nearly everyone buying a jump starter in 2026. It is exactly what I'd put in a V6 SUV, a truck with a gas engine up to 6.0 liters, or honestly, any vehicle that regularly faces real winter weather. My budget verdict is just slightly different. If you already own the Anker 400, you drive a small gas car, and it still holds a solid charge, keep using it. But test it, maintain it properly, and clearly know its limits. If you're shopping today, do not chase a used Anker just to save a few bucks. Just buy the GB40. It costs more upfront once, but it's far more likely to actually work when the alternative is being stranded in the cold. The real question you have to ask yourself is, next time it's 6:40 a.m. and freezing outside, how much is your peace of mind really worth? Let us know what's currently